gentlemen, welcome into the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. A man who you've seen in a whole bunch of different forms over the year, but right now he's back in solo form. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Cee-Lo Green.
Hey, woo!
Like in my head, like we are on the radio, of course, but in my head, I expected this chair to spin around and a reveal. Yo, you did a great job on the voice, man.
Thank you.
Yes,
But yo,
Lord.
let's talk about your voice though. You lent it to your brand new album, Heart Blanche is the LP.
Yes.
Now I imagine at this point you probably have like two types of Cee-Lo fans: the people who like appreciate your Nas Barkley and beyond work, and then the people who know your Goody Mob and solo appearance work, the rapping.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he helping the fried. Oh, I'm sorry.
But you know what? Like, but let me tell you something, Brad. Cee-Lo and his rap ability is the equivalent of Superman being able to kill any man he wants just by staring at him in the face with the heat ray vision.
Right.
But he uses it very sparsely. Like
Right.
when I was going through the album, it's like he's gonna rap. He's gonna no, he didn't rap. He's gonna rap on this. No, he didn't rap. Like
You know what? No, I hear that a lot. I hear it a lot, and I think in the very near future, I'm going to be able to offer a much better balance of both Cee-Lo Greens.
Is it tough when you go into the studio trying to decide which Cee-Lo has to show up for a particular project?
Not necessarily, but beginning though, a lot of the general consensus was, it was uncategorizable, meaning, the album was just too much of it was too diverse for the average listener. You know what I'm saying? Like the average listener's mind or listening palette does not vary that often within the course of an album. So, that's something I had to take into consideration. But me just kind of being ambiguous, I wanted to be all of the many things that I'm influenced by all at one time, because you only have that one opportunity to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of people took to it though, but I don't think people realized how effective it was, until after the fact. So now we're kind of reflecting on it, like, well, you know what, maybe that's something that, we should kind of like incorporate.
Word. Now, Brad, I know Brad grew up in a church, and just tell him about your voice.
I grew up in church too.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah, both my mother and father were ministers. You know what I'm saying?
So if you could figure out or assess what position he held in the choir, Brad, what would you say?
Oh my God! I mean, he can go soprano. He do alto. He probably could do the tenor, but he's got that like high soprano can hit high alto can hit the soprano easy.
Okay.
What was it?
I mean, I only ever did like a couple of leads in church, so I like more or less to kind of like to be a part of the whole thing, rocking back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't even really found my voice yet. You know what I mean? Like, so, like even MCing, to begin with was like more convenient. You know what I mean? You kind of acquired it a little easier before you acquire the self-confidence to really sing out loud. I mean, right. I didn't truly get that until Nas Barkley, I believe, but I had sung, 12 years prior. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what was like the first time like you sang for the homies, right? And like really like got that wow factor reaction from them, because like when people know you for a certain thing, it is hard to peel back those layers and show them something else. Yeah. When they're used to seeing you in this particular way. What was that moment?
It was my auntie who discovered me like singing in the shower, and she's like, "You can really sing," you know what I mean? And so I never really took myself seriously because I was only imitating other people. Like I grew up, like I was talking about it the other day doing an interview with one of my stepfathers, of whom I mean, we actually got along, you know what I'm saying? He was the first person to play Jackie Wilson and, Bobby Womack and all of these really gritty soul singers, of who I was, the most impacted by. So, I felt like I, was just being a fan mostly because I could just sing and imitate, flush up against them to where I knew all of the inflections and, you know what I mean? I can imitate it to a T. So that's how I learned how to sing. But as far as the homies, I was working with a group, like, we was called the GA Style. You know what I'm saying? Like, DJ Wynn, rest in peace, Ali Al, Q, DJ Will. And they was the first guys I really sung for, and we actually cut some records. I remember we was all working at a temporary agency called Talent Tree. I don't know if y'all remember that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a temporary agency, y'all, out there. It's when you are kind of a part of a little union, and then they call you randomly, hey, this is Talent Tree. Are you available for work this morning? I'm like, of course. I ain't got no job. So you ain't put me to work nowhere else. So anyway, we was all working separate jobs, and we would all pool our money together, and then we would drive down the road to I can't remember what it was. I think it's out in Austell, like a little bit past Six Flags, a studio called Transmedia. I don't know why we used to go way out there, but that's some real history for y'all. You know what I mean? But
wow,
that's where we come up.
Man, I couldn't even picture you like working like a regular gig. Like, I mean, I know like everybody has an origin point. Like, what was like the weirdest assignment that the temp agency sent you out on?
Oh, I mean, I used to work on beer trucks. Like, you know, we would go up to I forgot they changed the name of it now, but I'm from the south side of Atlanta, so it's what was called High Tower Station when I was young. So we would go to High Tower Station, and you know how you see a lot of the Mexican cats in front of the Home Depot or something like that? We was basically like that. I mean,
right.
Like you kind of sit, and they be like, you.
Yep.
Then they take you to this little, to the warehouse thing, and they'll assign you to a driver. You get in a driver who may not speak for, 10 hours straight, you know what I mean? But like, so I did deliveries, kegs, cases to all the different clubs and stuff like that around the city. I did that. I worked in another warehouse out there by South Lake Mall, making those variety boxes of potato chips, with the Cheetos.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
So I remember having a Crush Groove moment. I mean, I'm trying to get out some history here. I know Brad probably, I know
right.
you know for sure.
Oh.
But Crush Groove, that was just the beginning scene is when Ron and all them was working at the car wash. They was like, we quit. And I'm saying everybody. So I remember we was working at the airport, me and my cousin Floaty. Y'all go check in my OG King Floaty. And we was working at the airport, and we heard Players Ball on the radio. So while we was having lunch, and we decided to walk off the job. It's like, you know what? It's happening. It's like, so
That's what's up.
I could talk all day to y'all.
Yeah, and that's dope. I mean, but that's dope because a lot of people don't really get a chance to like see. People always know the story of like Superman, Batman, but
right.
Like surface level. But like as it relates to like rappers and artists and like really what drives the music, because like the things you sing about in your records and the things you rhyme about, you could tell you ain't just making this stuff up. It's coming from a place. Like I like one of your lyrics off of the Gnarls Barkley album, and I guess it was a testament and a sign of where you were at that point in your career. My neighbors like where I stay, but they don't know the price that I pay. Like the price that you paid to get to where you are in that career. People don't see the struggle.
I'm glad you quote that. Okay, so you're the second person in recently that mentioned that record to me. That's a really dear record to me. It does have a really great message to it. What's the next lyric? Then it says, "My neighbor likes my clothes, but hasn't seen me with my scars exposed." You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But hold on, I just want to double back right quick. But speaking of MCing, I'm sitting next to one of the best female MCs that ever
Speak
was.
on it.
Oh,
ever
man.
was.
Don't embarrass me, man.
No, I just got to make sure I acknowledge you, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Because, we got history, man.
We do. We go way back, and I appreciate
you.
you.
Had that Give It To You video. You remember
that?
that?
Yes. I remember y'all. Thank y'all for coming to that.
I be trying to pep talk as much as I can because, like, she has no idea that she still is ferocious as she is on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, sometimes when you get used to doing something for a long time, you become complacent, I guess, in the position. But, like, she can still body and beast out any MC out there, and I ain't just talking female.
But see, that's basically what she was describing with me. That's kind of like my dynamic or my disposition too, because it's like ain't nobody seeing Brett. You know what I mean? Like, and so therefore you become kind of like, and she's got an incomparable quality. You know what I mean? Like, she's a genuine article MC, as they say. Y'all go look that up, genuine article.
Genuine article MC.
And with me, don't nobody do what I do, so we don't really have a lot of competition. We don't almost have to create the nemesis. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like we don't really have one. Ain't nobody playing with us.
Right.
Word up. And I love it, man. So, like, as we talk about this album, Heart Blanche, like, I mean, anybody who follows your story, I mean, knows you've gone through a lot in the last 2 to 3 years. I mean, you could do your Googles. What headspace, what creative headspace were you at on this project when you were making it, man? Like, I was even checking out I was talking to you the video about the Robin Williams joint. Mm-hmm. He meant a lot to a lot of people.
No doubt.
What was his connection to you?
Well, I've said this a couple of times, and even on the if anybody caught it, because it was only on for the one season, but we did an episode of The Good Life, the show that we had with, me and Goody went up together, where I was doing stand-up comedy, and I had always wanted to do it. See, a lot of people may not realize that, like, a lot of my style, or, or whatever. It's just kind of stemming from a sense of humor. Like, I think it's funny. You know what I mean? Like, so it'll start right there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I like to laugh. I love to make people laugh.
Right.
So if the cat make people laugh, that, you know, it's funny. I wear a wig. I do something wild. It's like, yeah, let's laugh, you know, or whatever. So with Robin Williams, though, you know what I mean? To me, he's like, he's everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's so amazingly, immensely endowed with talent, you know what I mean, and energy, you know what I mean? Like, I believe that energy is God. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if it could be equated as any one thing, it's just energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and he's just cup just run its over. He just kind of contributed so much creatively to not only our community, but just like just at large. I mean, like, and gave joy, not just entertainment. And so to lose him, you know what I mean, like, it's like a true void, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, that I don't know if ever be filled, because, like, you know, his purpose, you know what I mean, like, you know, here was just so apparent, you know, like, to me, you know, because it's so effective, so effortlessly, you know what I mean, like, effective, and just so, you know, continuous and generous, and it's like, you know, like, damn, you know what I mean, so we lost a lot with him, you know what I mean, so I just, you know, got the opportunity in song, you know, to address my own personal empathy, you know, because just being a fan, you know, and use his name as a template in terms of the tribute, but then make it general enough to be applicable to just the average individual as well, because, you know, truth be told, we kind of probably in our personal lives all facing some kind of adversity, you know what I mean, that either we using music, we using the club, we using something, some means of escapism, you know what I mean, like to deny or deflect, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, as opposed to the dealing directly with, you know what I mean?
Right, like drinking and smoking and
you
all
know
that.
What I mean? So it's all deflection. And so, like, I'm one of those people, like, you know, we both have the luxury, you know what I'm saying, and the privilege of being able to address certain things cathartically in song, or to create something, so a means to vent and be expressive, so you don't have to internalize it, you know what I mean? So that I mean, that's really it, you know what I mean? Like, and I really just felt I wanted to say and do something redemptive, because I had gone through my own trials, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, in that time, you know what I mean, and I could just relate, I mean, like, because I'm like, you know, like, y'all, you know, wait a minute, give me a moment, like, I'm human, you know what I'm saying, you feel me? I got heart, you know what I'm saying, like, that's where it all come from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we got to forgive each other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think living is all about trial and error.
Right.
Like, we are here to F up.
Right.
We're supposed to F up and learn from something.
And learn
like,
from the mistakes.
You know, like,
I read a great
like,
quote from Gandhi the other day where he said, like, you know, freedom is pointless if having freedom is pointless if it does not include having the freedom to make mistakes. And this is Gandhi, you know what I'm saying? You know, so y'all go look him up too.
Hey, you gotta spell it right, because if you spell it Gun, it's gonna be like,
okay, you're gonna have a problem.
an Indian rapper who talks about gun talk, Gandhi. The L word, not love, loyalty.
Yeah.
One cool thing, you know, and another thing we talking about before you got here, like, for you to do the Good Life show and another Goody Mob album, Age Against the Machine, which is a great album. I actually went to DBS Sounds when you guys were doing the autograph signing to pick up a copy, because like, I'm a fan. It speaks volumes, because like, a lot of times, especially when you look at a unit, like, you know, where there's like multiple people, you know, certain people don't have to come back to the situation and do it, because, like, you know, you had The Voice going on at the time. You getting ready to do a sitcom on NBC, but you gave back to your homies and uplifted them at a time where it seemed like they really could use the push, man. And I wish more artists in the game would do that. You know, like, I sit, you know, as a fan of hip hop, I sit back with my fingers crossed, hoping Busta Rhymes one day calls Dinko D, Charlie Brown, and Milo in the dance and be like, you know what, Duke, let's do another Leaders Out. You know, because, like, not only is it great for the people to see it, it just speaks volumes about just, like, you know, familyhood and loyalty.
If you even mentioning that right now, like, we was just, well, I was just listening to that Scenario remix, you know, with Hood on it. You know, that's
Rest
one of
in
my
peace.
favorite remixes of all time. It beats so hard. But you're right, I used to see Dink around Atlanta. I think he may still live in Atlanta, but I used to see him all of the time. You know, but just to answer your question, first of all, I just want to go back to Robin Williams right quick. Did I elaborate on that enough?
Oh, you did.
You know,
a lot of Googleable phrases in there, but I definitely think the listening audience will love it.
Because also, if you haven't heard the record, I just want to make sure people at least go and give it a check. You know, listen. You know, because we mentioned Bernie Mac, we mentioned Richard Pryor, you know, John Belushi, Phil Hartman. I mean, like, the dichotomy of people who do comedy, you know what I'm saying, like, but having these tragic endings, to their lives, or having these really dark personal lives, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really ironic, but life is ironic for everybody, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they say most comedians are actually miserable people
Like
outside
Robin
of the
Williams.
thing. Like, like the
Apparently.
comedy is their their outlet. I
No
mean, same
doubt.
thing with musicians. Like, you talk to a lot of artists, and like, the records be fun and upbeat but that's their escapism,
Yeah, everybody trying to live vicariously through it, you know what I'm saying? But it's really hard work. Now mentioning what you're saying about Goody Mob and that project and that loyalty, I'm completely loyal. It's scratched in my skin forever.
It's obvious.
You know
It
what I'm
shows.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm loyal. You know what I mean? I wanted to come home. You know what I mean? Like, and share what success. You know what I mean? Like, reintroduce and rebrand. You know what I'm saying? Goody Mob, and like try to make some sense out of a 20-year really career. You know what I'm saying? Like, for this new audience I had acquired for myself. You know what I mean? And so I always felt like we were collectively worthy of that acknowledgement
That's
and of
right.
that platform.
And
you know what
you
I'm saying? Like, so, just utilizing what natural resource I had and what, ground I had gained, you know what I mean, like, to try to endorse that.
Word.
And I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I succeeded at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, a lot of my aspiration is to be able to multitask. You know what I'm saying? So I be wanting to do it all.
Got you. Yo,
I hear
so
you.
what we gonna touch off this album, man? What we going with? What's your joint?
Well, I know we got to hit the singles. I mean, Sound of the Times is a record that people are really reacting to. You know what I mean? I think people will enjoy it. It just definitely has a nostalgic kind of smoky kind of feel to it because it's got this old Taxi. Y'all remember the show Taxi?
Yes,
you know
he
what
was
I mean?
just singing it.
So I
Humming the
sampled
music.
that because initially, I was recording this album for 3 years, and I recorded like 4 albums worth of material, and I did a little vignette project in between joints because I started off with doing an album called Girl Power, if you may remember. Then I ended up with Heart Blanche, because like my whole life changed in an instant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I also, in between those, I did a vignette called TV on the Radio. And I had this little idea. It just came to me like an epiphany of like, yo, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do songs to all of these famous
All the
TV
good
shows.
TV
Yeah,
shows.
You know what I mean? Like, stuff I
Yes.
grew up I'm like, why are these songs so famous? Like, there's like this hazy, memory of it, like being a kid watching that taxi go across the bridge.
Yep.
And so I'm like, but it never had no words to it.
Right.
So I couldn't really do Good Times, or I couldn't do the Jeffersons because we know they had
That
songs.
words, right.
But so this taxi theme is a really Bob James. It's a song called Angela.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I did Night Rider. I did Simon and Simon. I did Heart to Heart. You got to be my age.
Oh,
to know some
wow.
Heart to
Yeah,
Heart.
man. Heart
You
to
know.
heart.
Nah, but that was like when like shows used to come on and have like dope, memorable theme
Yeah.
songs.
I
Like these
even
shows
did
that they
Family
just come on.
Ties.
Oh,
I
yeah.
looped it. You know what I'm saying?
What would we do, baby?
Can we get a duet? Can we get a duet?
Whatever. He's so
Yeah, she can
stupid.
sing.
But then
She's a
look.
little songbird.
But yeah, so no, I'm gonna re-release that project. You know what I mean? Like later, probably top of
That's
the year, so
dope.
people can hear it.
Cool.
And enjoy it. But yeah, that's where it come from. So that's one good record if you want to play it.
Let's let him hear this, man. Cee-Lo Green's in the house, man. Enjoy the Sign of the Times off that Heart Blanche. Ricky Smile on the show. Here we go. All right, cool. And we'll here we go. And we are rocking. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky Smile on the show. Cee-Lo Green is in the house. New
Yes.
album in stores, Heart Blanche. It's time for the lightning round. I'm gonna throw some things at you. You let me know what's going on in your head.
Come on.
Now, The Voice.
Yeah.
Are you going to come back in a future season? Because I know they like to rotate the furniture around there a lot.
Yeah.
We definitely miss you and your antics on there, man. You brought a lot
Right.
of flavor to the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
I miss it too, man. If I'm fortunate enough, I'll do it again. I ain't even gonna try to go into no elaborate answer for you. Yes, I will definitely do it again. And we have talked about it, so it's possible. Keep your fingers crossed. And if they don't do it in enough time, let's get a petition going.
And the people who are behind the scenes at The Voice, you don't necessarily have to swap out black guy for black guy.
Okay.
I think there's a world that exists where Pharrell and Cee-Lo could be on the show at the same time.
Right?
But we was talking about doing a super show. You know what I mean, like with everybody on there.
Mm-hmm.
Or even doing things from via satellite. You know what I mean, like just they was trying to entertain all of these many different options because really it's really difficult. you know, budget wise, I mean, and logistic wise, you know, because I mean, a lot of people thought I left because of whatever the incident was, but it's really not true. We had talked about, and I wasn't fired from The Voice or nothing. I'm saying, like, you know, like, my term was up, you know what I mean? And it was amicable, you know what I mean? And it was understood. And we had talked about them doing the switching out, I mean, of the coaches like a year or so in advance, because they wanted to make sure that the format remained fresh or whatever. And and you know, people like myself, I still wanted to be able to do music and do other stuff, because it's crazy with all of that visibility I had. I didn't release no music.
It takes a lot of time.
Right.
It's not like you guys are just up there for an hour, you know, doing the show. Like,
nobody really anticipated how successful or how demanding it would be. So it's really hard work. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know. So I mean, I enjoyed it, but I enjoy more so being everything that I am, or doing everything I want to do. So I took the break. Usher came in. I'm like, okay, I couldn't share it with a better person. Me and Usher grew up together. Yeah, okay. Atlanta still got the seat. I love it. You know what I mean? I went to Vegas. I did a Vegas show. Me and Goody Mob. You know what I'm saying?
Now, one of the other rumors is you left to do a TV show for NBC, like a sitcom. They was like working on developing for you. Is that still on the table?
Yeah, I have a developmental deal with NBC. You know what I mean? Of where I can kind of, you know, either promote or submit shows, ideas that either I want to kind of like act in myself or executive produce. You know what I mean? And so we had something in development, but then it didn't go through.
Got you. The Wiz, are you involved with that? No, right?
Nah. That's Dave Allen Greer.
In my head, you would. Who could you see him playing on The Wiz?
Don't even say it.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, what are you
I was
thinking?
thinking the Lion.
You know, I wasn't even thinking The Lion, but I actually could see you actually being The Wiz.
I heard that too.
I could totally see you doing The Wiz.
But I can hear you singing, "You Can't Win."
So that would make him Scarecrow.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot of hay.
But no, because you only thinking of the Wiz because of what was her name? That's Raj Mama from What's Happening.
Mabel King.
Mabel King. That too.
But Richard Pryor was actually the wizard, like, I mean, like the actual wizard. You know what I'm saying? So I could totally, like little song and dance.
I never saw how they did the NBC rendition though. Was it any good?
I don't even think it came on yet.
It's out yet.
Yeah, it come on yet. That's why I like in my head.
He talking about the
I attached you in my head.
No bad news. Don't you break me.
Other issues. Nas Barkley. You have a bajillion fans out there. I got a chance to check you guys out on your first tour. You guys were touring with Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of a mismatch in certain cities, but whatever. I went in Dallas, and it just seems like the people that really went were like Red Hot Chili Pepper fans.
No doubt about it.
I went, on the strength of Nas Barkley. Red Hot Chili Peppers is cool, though. But, like, are you, even if it's just to do some spot dates, you guys getting back out there?
Believe it or not, Danger Mouse is in the studio right now producing their new record. So, I mean, they actually ended up, and were, even at that time, like genuine fans, but it was more so a matter of the marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were the hot, new, young alternative band, of which they were in their prime when they began. So it's like, it only made sense for us to, have the privilege, you know what I'm saying, like, of touring with them and being exposed to what their core audience is, you know what I mean? So that's what that was about. But you're right, you know what I mean? Like, it was them little, what you call them little, them dust balls that be rolling across the road on the
tumbleweeds.
Yeah, the tumbleweeds.
I was singing them songs like I wrote it, like smiling faces.
Now I got a question.
It was tumbleweed in the studio. And we was, in the show.
It's like, do you not understand these people are dressed like characters from Star Wars, and it's like,
right?
like a string section, like it was over the top.
We was getting it so good around that time, man. I mean, when we did the Star Wars, George Lucas himself called us. It had gotten circulated that we wanted to do the Star Wars idea.
Wow.
And we were becoming pretty acclaimed for the characters. That's them. All of the real costumes.
Yeah, that's not Party City.
Nah.
Wow.
Nah, all of the real actual costumes. And they had handlers for each one.
Of course they did.
Yeah. So
yes.
that was amazing.
You could tell on stage, like, that wasn't like cheap.
Right.
Store bought.
No doubt.
Right.
Oh,
I saw not the other day, it was a while ago, but you did a Daryl Hall and John Oates. I can't go for that.
In Daryl's house.
Homie, you killed it. I want to know, like, if we gonna get some of that Cee-Lo on this new record, like what, like how you sang that thing. I mean, I've always known you could sing ever since Soul Food with Goody Mob, because you could hear your harmonies and your melodies on there, killing it, like filling up the song with your voice. But that Daryl Hall and John Oates, is there any tribute stuff like you gonna do like that? Because I Can't Go For That is my jam, son.
It's funny. I mean, I'm glad you asked that, because we're doing another show in Aspen. I don't know if they're gonna film it, but like we became really good friends behind that.
Yeah.
You know, but I really just reached out to them because I'm just a fan of his. And I kind of stumbled upon the show.
Wow.
And you know, I wanted to go up there and tribute.
That
I mean,
was
like,
great.
you know, I'm one of them kind of artists that I'm a bigger fan than anything. Like, I'll get out and I'll go show my love and I'll pay my respects. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah.
And good things come out of that. So like, we built a relationship.
That's what's up.
And you know, if he got something going on, he made, you know, that's such one of his most viewed shows. So the show was on, but you know, I got a chance to do that show in the prime that I was having with the visibility of the voice, and it just connected. So it only, you know, empowered. You know, so like, you know, his show too.
It was so dope.
And so I helped. You know what I mean? I was able to help, and so that's why we good.
It was so dope.
But but this album got, you know, it got all of that, man. Like, you know, like I'm giving it to him on this album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a gang of more music too.
Yeah, I mean, something about your voice and the passion in which you sing it really connects with people. You've taken this on an amazing ride your whole career.
I just love people, man. I'm a humanist.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
A
true.
human? Did you a humanist?
That's a real thing. Yeah,
It is.
totally.
I'm sorry, I'm dumb.
It's like someone like you're pro humanity.
Right? A humanist.
So yo,
that's what's up.
In closing, if there was anything that you want people to know about yourself or anything that you wanted to clear up, what would you tell the people out there?
Oh, I mean, I would just say, you know, as far as me, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm a reflection. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I am an embodiment of the human experience, and I get a chance to just, you know, give something that would otherwise be plain English poetic justice. And that's, you know, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's my job. It's my calling purpose. I feel dutify to do it. You know what I mean? Like, and whatever I do, whatever I say, you know what I mean? Like, it's out of love. You know what I mean? Like, and it's out of obligation and obedience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, other than that, if there's no love reciprocated, then, you know, I have no means. I mean, I'm, you know, I don't want it. I don't got to be famous. I don't got to be nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to be in love. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
So I just want people to know I got a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm a strong-willed, you know, resilient, you know what I mean? Like, peaceful, but, you know, a soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? You know what I mean? And
you feel me?
and I am still continuing to work. You know what I mean? Like, it's been 20 years. You know what I mean? And this album will showcase, you know, an evolution, an endowment, you know what I mean? Like, an ordainedship, you know what I mean? Like, it's what I do. It's what I do and what I do well and what I do for people. You know what I'm saying? So, I got love. Love me. I just want your love back. That's all.
Word up. Well,
Love it or leave it.
people that got the camera right there. The album is Heart Blanche. You can buy the physical copy. It's what we want you to do, because someone's going to probably steal it. You know how people collecting vinyl now? The people going to start collecting CDs again, like 30 years from now. That's one of them joints you definitely want to have it in the flesh.
No doubt.
Streaming is cool, but there's a soul to it when you actually hear it on something physical and tangible.
Do it how we did it when we was young. Open it up, look at the pictures, read the lyrics.
Right.
See who you think.
Read the credits. Read the thank yous.
Well, word up. Yo, Cee-Lo Green, thank you so much for your time, brother. Continued success. And yo, man, you know you got it.
For sure, man. Much love, y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, cool.
Bye, Brent.
Hey, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cee-Lo Green.
Hey!